Welcome into the studio, Beth Payne. She is with the Economic Growth Corporation. Wilson Lofts, of course, a big project of yours. Before we get into that, tell us a little bit about the Economic Growth Corporation.
Yes, thank you for having me. Economic Growth Corporation is a nonprofit community-based development organization. We're based in Rock Island, Illinois, but we're a national nonprofit with a national footprint. And we're really, our mission is meant to redevelop the places that are really hard to redevelop, and the Wilson Building is a perfect example of that. As a mission-based entity, we really focus on helping communities grow, especially the communities that really need the investment. And the Wilson Lofts was a challenging project. It took almost 10 years to complete, and that's a perfect example of who we are and what we do. On top of that, we are also creating housing and business opportunities, and so we're a little bit of everything when it comes to being a complex nonprofit. We are all of those things that check those boxes, but at the same time, we are really a mission-based, focused, small but mighty team that's really here to make a difference.
How did you get involved?
So I got involved back in 2010. Brian Hollenbeck, our president CEO, had called me and gave me the opportunity, and I really just took the jump and never looked back since. There's not one day that is ever the same. To really learn about life, you could work for our organization and understand like how we truly do make a difference in people's lives, from individuals that are needing small housing repairs that they can't typically afford, up to doing major projects like the Wilson Lofts. We really are community development from the core of our beings, from us as a person as well as us as an entity. We have a very strong board of directors that's really focused on that. So I love, and I've always been in nonprofit work. I formerly used to be in tourism, believe it or not, and so I kind of take those tourism aspects and implement that in my life now. You asked me what my job description is, a little bit of everything. My title is Senior Vice President. Very proud to serve this organization and very proud of the businesses that we do here.
Again, we're visiting with Beth Payne. So Wilson Lofts, you said 10 years you've been working on it. Did it get a little frustrating at times, Beth?
Frustrating would probably be a word that the typical person would have, but is it of the typical line of work that we do? Absolutely. If you were to check all of the deals that we've done in the past, the Wilson Lofts is probably at the very top of it for being very complex and difficult. As I say community-based, that really means that we go to the communities where they invite us to come. And so we were introduced to the Wilson Building back in 2012. And it was very challenging, at the time when they took the redevelopment on. We toured the space. We really had a general plan and idea of what we wanted to do. But then there's always these ebbs and flows of things that really just kind of hit us. Construction rising construction costs, rising interest rates, different ways that we can kind of really battle the challenge of redeveloping that and finally putting the bow on it. And so to say that we persevered is a small way of saying that we did that. Were there some blood, sweat, and tears? Absolutely. But what got us through it was really the Clinton community and our supporters and everyone who really stood behind the project. We never had any unwavering support. We feel like home here in Clinton. We really did not want to let the community down. We've never walked away from a project. So this is definitely one of those that we're super, super proud of.
And you throw in a derecho and COVID, and so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, and lightning strikes. Let's not forget the building got struck by lightning. But
yeah, that's right.
Lots of different things that were happening there. But again, that's one thing that I can really be proud of our organization. We take the challenges head on. We definitely are ones to never back off. And, with really having that community support behind us, we really wanted to make sure that we got it to the finish line. And we're proud that we did that this year.
Biz After 5, you're going to be hosting that on Thursday. So what are folks going to see when they enter the Wilson Lofts?
Well, they're going to be hosted in our incubator spaces. We, through all of the things with the Wilson Lofts, we're able to activate the commercial frontage of 5th Avenue South, creating 2 business incubators. One is Clinton Culinary, and the other is Makers on 5th. And so people will plan, just who are going to be attending can plan just to kind of walk inside and see what the incubator spaces are. And then learn a little bit more about our new commercial tenants, which one of the people just called me. Really learn about what we're trying to do. We've had a lot of people kick the tires, as I say, in terms of what this incubator space is. And it really is intended to help people make that decision to take their business from the home front to the storefront. But at the same time, even with our kitchen incubator, it's really intended for those people who are wanting to start a restaurant. We understand. I mean, we manage over 45 commercial spaces. We've helped small businesses from restaurants to retailers all open. So we understand from a very intrinsic point of view, like how hard it is to get going. And so the incubator spaces are really intended to kind of get them started, established, and grow into larger spaces throughout the Clinton community and further. And so when people come to Biz After 5, they'll be touring that space, they'll be touring some of our apartments, and they'll be introduced to our first commercial tenant.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the apartments, the availability of that, Beth.
So we currently have 33 total apartments in the development, and we have some people signing the leases. It's a little bit slow going, so we want to make sure people know that they can still apply. We've increased our property management team so that way they are available to show the spaces. They range in rent from $700 to $1,100 a month. A lot of different floor plans. We have 4 townhomes, as we call them, that have their own individual doors that face 6th Avenue South. We have lofts within lofts, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-bedrooms, great, phenomenal views. You cannot beat the views that come out of the Wilson Lofts, being the tallest building in Clinton. So if anyone who wants to live on the 6th floor, they can really have a panoramic view of the community. And I really think that we have some great options for people who are looking to live here.
So it would be a great opportunity to attend the Biz After 5 to find out a little bit more. But if they cannot make that, how can they find out more about what you all have to offer?
Yeah, we have a website. It's wilson-lofts.com. We have 2 Facebook pages with the Wilson Lofts, Makers on 5th, and Clinton Culinary. They all connect to our cell phone, which is connected to our property manager, who answers at any given time during the day. So they can just schedule an appointment, and we'll make sure that we're there to show them the spaces and what's available.
Again, visiting with Beth Payne. Appreciate you stopping in. Before we let you go, before we went on air, you talked about something involved up in Mount Carroll at former Shimer College. Fill us in on that, because I know that college up there.
Yes, and so that's the next exciting thing that we got going on. So it's Shimer Square. Again, brought to us from the community. We toured the space in 2018. Our board of directors was with us, and they toured it. And this is definitely one of those that's going to be for the record books. It's a small rural community in Illinois, town of about 1,500, and this campus is phenomenal. I mean, it has historical. It has all the original features in there, and so again. Our goal is to kind of keep it to the original intent. So from 2019, we brought back a community festival called Mayfest, and that's where we hosted a coin toss. We did a community ballot to rename the campus, and it actually resulted in a tie, believe it or not. And so the mayor had to do a coin toss, and that resulted in the campus being renamed to Shimer Square. And since then, we worked on a redevelopment plan. So we are happy to announce that we're bringing about $32 million of redevelopment into that campus for 51 rental units. That'll be happening here early 2024. But currently, right now, we are deploying Rebuild Illinois grant dollars, about $1.5 million, into the former president's house, which is where the president of the college stayed. And we're converting that into a resource center. And so people are going to be able to come in there and get housing and business resources, similar to what we have here at the Wilson Lofts in Clinton. But so a lot of tuck pointing, a lot of masonry work to kind of restore and make sure that it's kind of built for the future. We're excited to kind of get the construction finally going. I know the community is there too. We always kind of bring up Wilson in the Clinton community about how patient everyone was here with us here for almost 10 years to kind of get to start to finish. But we're really proud to kind of get that going up there as well. So the goal is to create that into a mixed-use development campus that's going to be filled with housing and business resources as well. So we're really kind of well on our way on that. Probably not as quick as everyone would hope, but again, it's a lot of behind the scenes work to kind of get to when you see activity going from the visible eye.
Well, just the short time I've visited with you, you seem like a very passionate person and driven to what you want to accomplish for your corporation. Again, Biz After 5, Thursday, probably be a great opportunity for people, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, any closing comments before we let you go?
No, just again, if I were to say anything about Clinton, that we're proud to be a part of it. We're proud to be, a major part of making a difference in this community. As a nonprofit ourselves, we really always try to let people understand that we're really here for the long term, and we want to make sure that we really make a difference and help that trajectory in Clinton keep going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On our monthly program for Mercy One of Clinton, we will be hearing from Elizabeth Voss from the Mercy One Wound Center. They feature a specialized team of physicians, practitioners, and nurses